Hello, welcome to another Daily Digest video. I'm Merriam. Today I am playing with blue-white approach, but in modern. Interesting. Pretty classic blue-white control shell here with Zero Visions, D-Sphere, Search for Azcanta, Cryptic Command, Path Exile, all cards that we've seen. I guess Search is new, but has made its way into these kinds of decks. But approach as a win condition is nice because there's a lot of creature removal in modern, and the only creatures in this deck are Snapcaster Mages, so you leave your opponent with a lot of dead cards. That virtual card advantage adds up over the course of a long game, and you just play your plan with them down 2 cards, basically. Makes everything a lot easier. This hand on the draw, I think, is a keep, although it's close. Serum Visions will dig us to a second land, which then lets Search dig us to a third, and we have good cards to follow it up. So risky hand, but I'm willing to keep it here. Opponent mulligan to 6, so that's nice of them. And they scry to the top. Less nice of them. What are you playing, opponent? Basic Plains. Death and Taxes? Oh, a little Martyr action. Well, we got multiple removal spells for that one. As long as we can find a white source here. Ugh. Well, I definitely want the Field of Ruin. The question is whether I want this Serum Visions. Honestly, might be a little too slow. I think it is. I'm going to bottom it because I want to play Search next turn and then Spreading Seas the turn after that if I don't hit a white source. Hopefully we don't just die to the Ceres and then bring in the beats. But of course, there's a Martyr of Sands, but they only have 3 cards in hand, so they can't get to 30 here. So that's nice, at least. So we'll have at least one more turn of reprieve. Ranger, Eos, Soul Warden, Soul Warden. So double Soul Warden next turn will get them to... Oh, I guess this has lifelink anyway, so... Yeah, so that actually gets them to 30. I could Spreading Seas an island or plains so that they can't double Soul Warden next turn, but I really just want to find a white source. D-Sphere can deal with the 2 Soul Wardens, Leak can deal with the Ranger, so I really just need to find a white source as quickly as possible, and I think that means playing Search. Let's see, hopefully they don't get to this Ranger too quickly, because I'm going to spend a fair amount of time dealing with the rest of their board. So there's the 2 Soul Wardens. And I'll go to 13. The nice part is I don't have to worry about their life total at all. Like, this approach will end the game in the same amount of time. Put Settle the Wreckage in your graveyard. Yes. Plains. Oh, jeez. Boseiju. I cannot imagine a worse card. Well, let's Spreading Seas one of their lands. I honestly might want to Spreading Seas my own Field of Ruin to set up Cryptic Command, but I might need to Field of Ruin into a Plains, actually. And another Spreading Seas. Well, we took a risk on this hand, and it is not paying off. And I need to find... I guess I have 3 more cards to find it in, depending upon what their play is here. Blind Obedience. That is actually a problem. I guess they don't have a lot of lands in play right now, but Sphinx's Revelation, yeah, that can go to the graveyard. Okay, we hit the plains. Uh, I guess I want to spread the other planes. And that'll help make this blind obedience worse. It's going to be awkward. Really don't need any ETB tap lands here. Well, I guess any land is welcome. I'll go to 3 here. Path this Sarah Ascendant. That unfortunately does give them a plains now. Wow, this Besaiger is awkward. And they drew another land, so they're at Ranger Mana next turn, and I'm not going to be able to counter it. Play a Martyr. That's fine. Field of Ruin. I kind of want land so I can get to an approach. But I also want a mill card so I can flip this search. So I think I actually have to mill this one. Flooded Strand. Okay. We'll play this. Get our tap land in. Why is there a Besaiger in this main deck? This is just the worst land. Get my 2 for 1. And I really have to hope they don't draw a land here. No land, please. Okay. Actually, I'm sort of screwed, aren't I? Yeah, drawing this Flooded Strand. I'm going to go to 2. I can't really afford to go to 1. And I'm 1 card short in my graveyard right now. Not sure what I can draw. I'm trying to think of what I can do with Field of Ruin to get another card in the yard. We found 2 Sarah Ascended, sure. Not that much matters. So, can I do something with a Cryptic command? I literally can't tap the Besaiger, so I only have 4 lands here. If I use Field of Ruin, then I'm tapping Island anyway, so I'm not gaining anything Towards Cryptic, yeah. I think I just have to let this resolve. I need to find a blue source here. I drew Field of Ruin, Boseiju, another ETB tapped land, and a Flooded Strand that were all incredibly awkward. Hmm. And I have to find a way to deal with these attackers' Supreme Will. That has to go to the graveyard. Okay, well, there's an island. So now I can cast Cryptic Command and survive. I like them casting things at pre-combat. Well, so much for that. Thinking about potentially bouncing the Blind Obedience, maybe getting them to recast it, because these Sarah Ascendants are going to be awkward in that they create a lethal attack even through the life I gain. And if they play both of them, I could be in an awkward spot. I would really need to draw a path. I doubt they would play both of them. It actually doesn't seem like they should play either of them to me, but they don't know that I'm playing an approach. With me at 2 life and them having Blind Obedience, it would make sense just not to overextend into a Wrath. So I think I'm going to make them think that, and that means, yeah, tap and bounce. Choose target permanent. I don't think the scenarios where I like draw a path and barely survive when they extend are going to come up very often. Whereas the scenarios where they play a little conservatively here and I punish them are a lot more likely. Especially I'm tapped out of blue, getting the Blind Obedience down here makes a lot of sense. Oh wow, they don't even play anything. What is in their hand? They have 2 unknowns? Well, I'm fine with that. Yes. So I put Field of Ruin in my graveyard. Then I have to crack the fetch in order to cast Approach, which puts me at 8. And that means the 2 creatures in play are a 2-turn clock. But I get to see an extra card, and I think that's more valuable. Transform this. Draw my card. Detention Sphere is okay. Oh. They stopped me on my draw step. What do you have? Yeah, okay. Just a weird draw step stop setup. think island is probably better. Cast this one. This Spreading Seas, I think, put in some work this game, which is kind of neat. This Passaggio, however, has been the worst card of all time. Be interesting to see what happens this turn. Exactly how much they extend. This is probably the Blind Obedience. Okay. Do you have another white source? No. That's not good. Yeah, so I need to activate Azcanta. Hopefully find a sweeper here. The Passaggio might do something. There is a Supreme Verdict, which is the thing I need. So let's choose that one. And then play this one. And Verdict. I imagine, well, ooh, no activation of Martyr. They don't want me to see their hand. Could be dead to this Blind Obedience now. If they have a colorless card of some kind. So they O-ring my Detention Sphere. And gain some more life. Unfortunately, that's actually still pretty good because they got me down to 1. So now I'm dead to Blind Obedience and both Soul Wardens. I had a draw step and an activation of Azcanta. So this top, so my approach is 2 cards down. I'm a turn away here. The Passaggio is now off again. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. 8 mana right now. Yeah, I have to draw something good. And I don't think that one counts. Oh, jeez. That was so close. Living Ring. I guess I can activate the Azcanta. See what I find. But I don't think I have enough mana to do anything. To do everything I need to do. Yeah, there's the approach I needed. And I can find Path and D-Sphere the Blind Obedience and Path one of them. But that's not going to do it. Oh, I was so close. If I had one more life. Yeah, so I guess I would say the flooded strand was the problem, but I mean I had to barely top deck as it is, and the D sphere I drew was critical before then, so I think milling that field of run earlier was correct. But the Beseiju, I'm going to blame the Beseiju. I had to pay 2 life with it. If I was at 3, then I definitely win. Oh man, so close, so close. Okay, um, I have to think that this negate is going to be good. I don't know how good Settle the Wreckage is. Stony Silence, Rest in Peace, Purge, all bad. Is this Elspeth good? I think so. Spreading Seas does not seem very good. Let's cut some Spreading Seas. Our heinous 61 card deck. I'll blame that. Beseiju is the 61st card. Yeah. This is not a very good hand, but it's close enough. It has a good mix of lands and spells. Prone them all to 5, and they scry to the top, so that's nice. I'll get a Hallowed Fountain with this Flooded Strand. No, so, okay, Soul Warden I'm okay with. Just give me a little bit of time to set up here. Good draw. Oh, well, I'll take a Spreading Seas. And I'll just continue to put in work. Spread you. Especially when they mull to 5, they might have a land-light hand here. They did scry to the top, though, so I'm assuming their hand's going to be functional. Oh. Well, kind of wish I'd spread that one. But that card's not as big of an issue for this deck because we win with Approach. And if I get cheeky at some point, I can Cryptic, counter a spell, bounce my own Spreading Seas, and then get the Emiria. That'll be a nice play to make. I'm looking forward to that one. And yeah, play a 2-drop. Let's Spell Snare that. Maybe they'll play a 2-drop next turn. We can snap Spell Snare. They probably kept the Emiria on top when they scried after keeping the 1-lander. Okay, well, if we can just make land drops, we're going to win this game. I don't think my opponent has any way to really interact with Approach, so just get to 7 lands and win the game in 2 turns. Martyr I can't do anything about. Please play another 2-drop. Or I could just draw a land. If I die to 1-1 beatdowns this game, I'm going to be disappointed. There we go. There we go. Snappy-do. And bam. Okay, and now I got a blocker. They're down to 2 cards. Land. That's close enough. There's a land. Sure, we'll top a Supreme Will. Not sure if that's wise, but Seems like something that can get us a land. We might be tapping out a lot in the coming turns, though. We just unlocked all these 4-mana spells. That one is fine. Yeah, no attack. And pass. I'll chump block this Pride Mate. It does telegraph the Supreme Verdict, but that's fine. That one is going to get countered. Definitely want a second white source, so let's get the basic planes. Surprise there aren't 2 Hallowed Fountains. Counter target spell and draw a card. I can bounce with the other one if need be. As of now, I'm not going to be able to spend this 2 mana because I'm verdicting this turn. So I just want to make land drops by drawing a card. Hopefully. They're down to 1 card in hand, so this should be easy to mop up after I verdict their board here. The writing should be on the wall with that chump block. And we made a land, so perfect. They have 1 turn to do something sweet. And even then I have Cryptic Command. And I'm at 15. Can't imagine they can do something sweet enough here. I'm not even really worried about this cool Spreading Seas play because the Emiria is so far off. Honor of the Pure is just not a threat by itself. Second one, definitely not. And now I can, I guess, start with an opt. Just trying to make land drops. If I don't hit a land here, I think I'll pass rather than trying to Supreme Will into one. There's no need to take any unnecessary risks here with my opponent having nothing. Oh, but hit the land. Now I just get to pass anyway. And I'm on 6 mana here, so just 1 more, which the Supreme Will should be able to find, and we'll wrap this one up. This matchup should be quite good. Our deck is just good at dealing with swarms of creatures. And their life gain is mostly irrelevant. And by mostly, I mean almost entirely. Get this untapped land. These can go in any order. So many Honor of the Pures. Oh, there's even the second Spreading Seas for that Emiria, just in case. Embarrassment of Riches. We are coming up on the second sun. We've passed the first sun. The second one is in our sights. What could they have drawn to not die to this? I'd like to see it. Bam. I can gain life too. Mine's better than yours. I still like Elspeth. Maybe this negate's not good. I sort of assume they have some like Elspeths of their own. And they make a lot of land drops. I give them extra lands. Granted, we do have D-spheres for them. But it's just feeling everyone just brings in cards that are negatable against control decks. Still, I have a Logic Knot too. I guess I have enough answers and Cryptic and stuff. Just going to leave in more Spreading Seas. I just want to cantrip through my deck. If my deck does my thing, then I should be able to win pretty easily. And I had to miss a lot of land drops and have a lot of awkward draws there to barely lose game 1. At least they mulligan too. This is a very good 6. Just a ton of card selection to make sure we do our thing. How good is Snapcaster Mage? Seems like it should be good, right? Thing is, I'm in an awkward spot where I don't have a good window to get this visions down because of Colonnade. But what I think is going to end up happening is I'm going to find a path, and I'm going to want 2 paths. So I think I'm going to top this. They topped as well. So I'm mainly just worried about the Sarah's Ascendants and the Johnny's Pridemates. So I'm going to play Search for Azcanta on turn 2. Here's an Ascendant, but they might not have the Martyr here if they didn't play Ascendant on turn 1. 2 Ascendants, so there's my need for multiple paths. They're down to 2 cards, so Martyr is not going to gain them much life anyway, but they're going to gain probably 3 life a turn. I might need to visions this turn to try to find a path, so I can then search plus path, then snap path. Yeah, I think that's actually going to be my plan. Ugh. I need a second white source. I don't want to spend all this mana Field of Ruining to set that up, so I'm actually going to keep one of these and then hope to Supreme Will into a sweeper, either D-Sphere or Verdict. There's 3rd land. That means they gain 4 life here. That's still not the worst. I can deal with that. Oh, and a Soul's Attendant. That can be rough. That's 27. Okay, yeah, that's right. Because it doesn't trigger off itself. So a creature next turn doesn't put them to 30. So I know I have this Fortress. Yeah, this Snapcaster Mage is looking not great because I didn't really find a path. I mean, I could still play into it later, but I'm also at a point now where I really need. I like the D-Sphere isn't that good. So this brings them to 29. Because I'm going to go to 5 here. If I find D-Sphere, then their next attack is for 1. And is for 4. It brings me to 1. And I'm really not anywhere else. I need to find a Verdict here. But if I find Verdict, I'm in incredible shape. Okay, let's find a Verdict. Settle the Wreckage isn't bad. See how much they play into it. I guess they don't actually, yeah, because now these things are big. They don't have to play into the settle. These are not good draws. We'll see how much they sniff it out. Yeah, they did not. They actually... at least I got 2 things, but... There's some tension there between Path, I guess. But now I'm at the point where Path is really good because they just have the 2 Ascendants and I have Snap. But... yeah, I think I'm dead. If I had found Cryptic Command there, Path, Verdict, I would have been in good shape. But as is, I'm going to end up short here. Man, this is a really frustrating matchup to lose. Probably should have just mulliganed. Sure. I just need to find, like, if I had found the settle earlier too, before these things got big, the settle would have been great. I found the settle on the very turn it stopped being good. If I had found that at all sooner. Maybe I was still supposed to get the search down. Maybe I played a little bit too aggressively to find an early piece of disruption. Maybe. Yeah, either way, I can't beat an 8/8 flyer. I was just trying to potentially bluff like that attack, any attack that kills me, I guess. So I don't know exactly what I'm trying to bluff, but I couldn't snap. Like if I visions bottom snap visions, even if I find a path, the two ascendants kill me. So I couldn't actually show them anything. I just had to hope they screwed up somehow. Yeah, maybe if I get the search down, I keep digging and I get enough digging power that I actually find what I need. But I mean, this is turn 5 for me, so if I play that on turn 2, it just sees 3 cards. I willed on turn 3 and settled on turn 4, so I would have never cast the visions. So it saw the same number of cards as vision saw, and the vision saw them faster. So I think it was right. And I didn't know I was drawing an island, so I didn't know not to. And this was a second one of my white sources, so getting the colony down on turn 1 made sense. Yeah, so maybe the only bad thing I did was uh, uh, keep the Snapcaster Mage when I had a hand that didn't really use it very well. I would have been a card deeper basically the entire time, and yet a turn earlier on the settle, I think would have been more than enough. Because if I settle before these things get big and get 2 Sarah Ascendants that way, then that buys me an extra turn. And I can yeah, I think that buys me several extra turns, and I end up like revving or approaching and maybe getting the search down. There's a lot of stuff that happens. I think it has a cascading effect through the rest of the game, but also I could have just mulliganed that hand. It was, oh no, I did mull that. I'm thinking game 2 was the hand I didn't mulligan. That hand I mulled to 6 and just kept a bunch of card selection. Yeah. So yeah, because that's why I had the scry. Okay, I'm just getting confused. Yeah. Uh, yeah, keeping the Snapcaster Mage is probably the one thing that I would do over. I got a little ambitious with it. They did have multiple Saracens, so Path would have been great, but there's a lot of things that need to go right for that to have happened, whereas if I just find D-Spheres and Supreme Verdicts and stuff, I'm not going to lose. This matchup, I have to imagine, is incredibly good for my side, and so disappointing to lose it, but uh, that's why you play the games. Hope you enjoyed watching them, and you can come back and see me on Friday. Bye.